The city of Atlanta never sleeps. Its heartbeat is music thundering from nightclubs, voices echoing with gossip, and headlines that shift by the minute. But when the truth about Kelsie Frost, the daughter of Kirk Frost and stepdaughter of Rasheeda, finally broke into the open, the city's steady noise turned into a violent storm. For years, whispers lingered about her relationship with rapper T Hood. Neighbors murmured about late-night screams, the sound of glass shattering, bruises hidden under long sleeves, and desperate cries that were brushed aside as just another argument. Whispers can be ignored, denied, or twisted into rumors. But when the receipts surfaced, raw videos, police reports, and Kelsie's own cries written in tweets, those whispers became undeniable screams. The first leaks were gut-punching. A fragile Kelsie, barely 90 pounds, curled into her bed, while T Hood towered over her, dragging her like prey. He mocked her with a camera in her face, then cut his own skin, screaming that she was the cause. Another clip showed Kelsie begging, pleading for him to stop, her voice cracking into silence, the kind of silence born from 1,000 times being silenced before. But when the world expected her family or the authorities to speak, it wasn't them. It wasn't Kirk, it wasn't Rasheeda, and it wasn't even the police. The first voices came from T Hood's mother and sisters, rushing online to rewrite the narrative. They painted him as a gentle soul, a misunderstood artist, the victim of a toxic woman. They shared selective clips of Kelsie cursing, swatting his phone, trying to convince the world she was the abuser. But the internet wasn't fooled. Alongside those cherry-picked fragments came the darker footage, the ones where T Hood lunged at her in her sleep, carved wounds into his own face, and brandished a weapon just to watch her tremble. For years, critics recycled the same cruel questions. Why didn't she just leave? Why didn't she call the cops? That narrative collapsed when the truth surfaced. Kelsie did call the cops, again and again. The reports were filed. Her best friend confirmed it. The paper trail spoke louder than the denial. Her best friend then delivered the testimony that shattered everything. She recounted a night at Candyland, a local club, where T Hood spiraled in front of a crowd. He screamed at Kelsie, threatened her, and in full public view, pulled out a weapon. Yes, a weapon. In a parking lot crowded with women, friends, and strangers. And while witnesses froze, his friends laughed, treated it as entertainment, and left Kelsie standing in terror. Police eventually pulled him aside, walked him away, but hours later, he was back. He broke into her garage, hid inside her home, and when she thought she was finally safe, he attacked again, leaving her bruised, terrified, and broken. Another report filed, another call ignored. The abuse wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare. After every outburst, T Hood would cut his own skin, sobbing in her lap, swearing she was the only one who could save him, threatening to take his life if she left. And like many trapped in the chains of trauma bonding, Kelsie stayed, not out of love for the pain, but out of fear for his threats and hope that his tears were real. But the Frost family couldn't stay blind forever. Kai Frost, Kelsie's brother, lived just doors away. On the night that would change everything, he heard her screams pierce the air. Neighbors later confirmed it. Pleas for mercy, crashing sounds, a woman begging for her life. Kai didn't need to think twice. He ran to protect his sister, and what unfolded in that driveway ended with T Hood's body on the ground. His family cried murder. The public cried justice, and the courts would eventually rule self-defense. Even in death, his mother clung to denial. She flooded Facebook with posts. Justice for T Hood. Lies will be exposed. Stay tuned. But the comments told another story. Strangers dragged her with brutal truth. It's on video. Your son was who he was. You ignored her cries, and now you're facing consequences. The receipts were everywhere. In the bruises streaking down Kelsie's body. In her April tweets, domestic violence will never be okay. I feel like giving up. In the desperate text she sent to his mother. Your son is putting his hands on me again. Please send a ride so I can send his things. And the cold reply she received, okay, thanks. That one dismissive message shattered whatever defense his family tried to mount. Because Because if his own mother couldn't protect the woman her son was destroying, who else would? Still, denial persisted. His friends jumped into comment sections with excuses that Kelsie was the aggressor, that she provoked him until he snapped. But in their contradictions, they betrayed themselves. They admitted he begged them not to attack her, that he schemed to set her up, that he pitted strangers against her. The gaslighting fell apart under the weight of bruises, screenshots, and witness testimony. The truth was already louder than their lies. Through it all, Kirk Frost and Rasheeda Frost never rushed online with statements or hashtags. Their silence became its own answer. While blogs ran wild and YouTube creators debated every angle, how parents knew the truth didn't need their validation. The bruises already told the story. The police reports already screamed it. The weapon already proved it. The witnesses already confirmed it. This wasn't romance. This wasn't some reality. TV toxic couple storyline. This was the slow exposure of a dangerous man who used fear, violence, and manipulation to break a woman down until her family had no choice but to intervene. Now, with every clip leaked, with every report revealed, the narrative shifted. The question was no longer, why didn't she leave, but why wasn't he stopped sooner? As social media dissected every frame and every screenshot, one piercing question rose above all the noise. If this was your daughter, would you still defend him? If this was your sister, would you still edit videos to paint her as the villain? If this was your child, would you still type "Justice for T Hood" while ignoring the bruises on a girl's body? For Kelsie Frost, justice wasn't a hashtag. Justice was survival. Every 911 call she made, every scar carved into her skin, every text where she begged for help. And when her brother Kai Frost bolted out of his apartment that night, justice came in the form of a brother refusing to let his sister's screams echo unanswered. And now, the world was watching. The courtroom was suffocating long before the war. Gavel struck. The whispers weren't gossip anymore. They were battle cries from both sides of the aisle. On one side sat Kelsie's supporters, faces tightened with rage, murmuring prayers under their breath. On the other sat T Hood's family. His mother clutching her Bible with one hand, his sisters glued to their phones, posting live updates like hashtags could undo the truth. In between them sat the story that had consumed a city. What really happened the night Kai stepped outside to save his sister? Prosecutors wasted no time. They stacked the table with reports, disturbance calls, break-in records, neighbors' testimonies about screams and glass shattering, and every single report carried the same name: T Hood. But paper wasn't what froze the room. It was the videos. Clip after clip played across the monitors, each one dragging the gallery deeper into silence. Kelsie, crying, begging him to leave her alone. T Hood, looming, shoving, slicing into his own skin, blood dripping as he accused her of being the attacker. The shaky Candyland footage where witnesses swore he pulled a weapon in a packed lot. The hospital photos showing Kelsie's bruises. Her skin turned into a diary of violence she never chose to write. Then came the text messages. Blown up on screens for the jury to see, they cut through every lie. Kelsie pleading, "Your son is putting his hands on me again. Please send a ride so I can send his things." And then the infamous reply from his mother, "Okay, thanks." The gasp that rolled through the courtroom was undeniable. Even some who had shown up to support his family shifted uneasily in their seats. Because how does a mother dismiss a cry for help with two empty words? Still, T Hood's mother fought on. On the stand, she repeated the same script she'd been posting online. Justice for my son. She provoked him. She was the aggressor. Her daughters nodded, ready to upload her testimony in real time. They thought the crowd outside would rally. But inside a courtroom, hashtags don't carry weight. Receipts do. When pressed about the video where her son dragged Kelsie from bed, she dodged. When shown footage of him stalking her through the apartment, she looked away. And when asked, directly, "Do you believe your son ever laid hands on her?" she stammered, "Not like that. He wasn't like that." But the screens in front of the jury told another story. The bruises screamed louder than her excuses. The report spoke louder than her denial. Meanwhile, outside the courtroom, the war only grew louder. Blogs lit up with headlines. Instagram. Comments torched T. Hood's sisters for editing clips, calling it gaslighting, calling them enablers. One post showed Kelsie swatting a phone from his hand with the caption, "This is the real Kelsie." But within minutes, comments dragged it. She was yelling because he was abusing her. A 90-pound girl the aggressor against a man twice her size? Be serious. If she was your sister, would you post this? Then the star witness took the stand. Kelsie's best friend. Her voice shook, but her words sliced sharp. She recounted the Candyland night in chilling detail. The laughter of his friends as he spiraled, the way her stomach dropped when he pulled a weapon, the chaos when cops showed up, and the horror hours later when he broke into Kelsie's home. Then she looked directly at the gallery, her voice breaking into steel. Y'all keep saying she should have called the police. She did. We did. The police came 5, 6 times. But if he's gone when they arrive, then what? What good is a report when hours later he's standing in your garage waiting for you? The room froze. Because the truth had been laid bare, not by whispers, but by testimony soaked in fear and receipts too heavy to ignore. Her words cracked something wide open. Suddenly, this was no longer about one girl's private nightmare. It was about a system that had failed Kelsie Frost again and again. It was about women across the globe seeing their own stories reflected in her bruises. It was about thousands of voices filling YouTube comment sections with one haunting sentence. This could have been me. Inside the courtroom, Kai Frost sat silently, his jaw locked, eyes forward. He didn't need to testify for people to understand his role. Everyone already knew. He had heard his sister's screams, he had run outside, and when the dust settled, T. Hood lay dead in the driveway. To some, it was murder. To others, it was protection. But for those who had seen the footage, who had read the reports, who had lived through the unraveling of T. Hood's violence, there was only one word: justice. Yet, T. Hood's friends clung to denial. They flooded social media with tributes, calling him a gentle giant. They recycled the lie that Kelsie provoked him, but their contradictions betrayed them. One claimed she constantly attacked him. Another insisted he stopped his own friends from hurting her. Which was it? Was she the aggressor? Or was he shielding her? Their own stories shredded their defense. The courtroom absorbed every contradiction. The jury saw the contradictions collapse. And outside, the city of Atlanta and the internet at large became its own jury. Blogs debated endlessly. Podcasts dissected line by line. Twitter threads turned into digital trials. Yet the same conclusion echoed louder every day. Kelsie Frost was the victim. T. Hood was the abuser. His family enabled him. Kai Frost was the protector. Meanwhile, the silence of Kirk and Rasheeda Frost thundered louder than any Facebook post. They didn't chase clout. They didn't type cryptic lines. They didn't need to. Their silence was their strength, their refusal to play the spin game. Because when the truth is on your side, you don't shout. You let the receipts roar. But T. Hood's mother couldn't stay quiet. Night after night, she returned to Facebook, pounding the same phrases into her keyboard. My son was innocent. The lies will come out. Stay tuned. But the world wasn't buying it anymore. Under one of her posts, a single comment went viral. The truth isn't in your rants. It's in the videos, in the bruises, in the screams. Stop blaming the girl your son destroyed. As the trial dragged on, public opinion shifted fully. No longer did people ask why Kelsie hadn't left. Instead, they asked why his friends had laughed instead of intervened, why his mother had dismissed her pleas with a hollow, "Okay, thanks," why his sisters uploaded smear videos instead of acknowledging the abuse. The questions pierced deeper than the case itself. They became a mirror held up to society. By the second week, this was no longer a love and hip-hop headline. It was a cultural reckoning. It was about abuse, trauma, gaslighting, and the system's failure to protect women. And at its core, it was about a young woman who survived and a brother who refused to let her fall. The prosecution closed with a chilling line. If this was your daughter, if this was your sister, if this was your family, would you still call him a gentle giant? The silence that followed weighed heavier than any gavel. Everyone already knew the answer. The final day felt less like a trial and more like history being written. Testimony after testimony. Neighbors recalling screams, officers confirming 911 calls, doctors pointing to the bruises that mapped Kelsie's body. The defense scrambled to paint Kai as reckless, but the mountain of receipts buried them alive. How could anyone erase the videos? How could anyone deny the marks carved into her skin? When the verdict dropped, the room cracked open with muffled sobs. Kai Frost was cleared. The jury declared what the streets already knew. It wasn't murder, it was protection. For Kelsie, the ruling wasn't just legal vindication, it was a declaration that the years of gaslighting, silencing, and blaming were finally over. She was not the aggressor. She was not the problem. She was the survivor. But outside, the battle didn't stop. That same night, T. Hood's mother returned to Facebook, screaming in all caps, "Justice was denied. My son was a good man." But her words fell flat. Screenshots of her cold "okay thanks" reply to Kelsie's desperate plea had already gone viral. Comment sections buried her. "Your son wasn't a good man. He was a monster. You raised him, and now you enable him. Stop rewriting the truth." Meanwhile, the media spun into overdrive. Blogs, YouTubers, podcasters, everyone dropped their final verdict breakdown. But the spotlight began to shift. Rasheeda's silence was praised as dignity in an era of oversharing. Kirk's absence from public spectacle was interpreted as quiet strength. And Kelsie's name trended, not as scandal, but as survival. Then came her own statement, short but seismic. "Thank you to everyone who believed me. I'm not perfect, but I didn't deserve what he did to me. I didn't deserve the bruises. I didn't deserve the fear. And I didn't deserve to be blamed for surviving." Her words went viral. Celebrities reposted them. Women from across the world filled her comments. "This was me once. You gave me the courage to leave. You're the reason I spoke up." That became the true legacy of this trial. It wasn't just about Kelsie or Kai. It wasn't even just about Kirk and Rasheeda. It was about every woman trapped in silence, every ignored bruise, every dismissed cry. Kelsie's survival became their survival too. Her truth became their truth. Her fight became their fight. Atlanta will never forget the night T. Hood died. His family will keep ranting, keep denying, keep rewriting the script in their own minds. But the world saw the truth. The videos proved the truth. The jury sealed the truth. Kelsie was the victim. Kai was the protector. And the Frosts, in their silence, stood on the right side of history. As the cameras packed up, as bloggers hit upload, as debates flooded the comment sections, one thing was undeniable. This was not the end. The lessons would echo for years. And the name Kelsie Frost would forever carry the weight of survival. So if you're watching this now, don't dismiss it as another reality TV scandal. Don't scroll past it like clickbait. This is real life. This is survival. And somewhere, right now, another young woman is begging to be believed. Don't ignore her, don't silence her, don't blame her. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think the Frost family was right to stay silent? Was Kai justified in what he did? And what does this case teach us about enabling versus protecting? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because the truth deserves to be heard, survivors deserve to be believed, and abusers deserve to be exposed. This isn't just a headline. This is a wake-up call. Wake-up call.